Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear Venerable Sangha, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to join us in this weekly Buddhist Newsreel on Phật online channel. Hereafter, 7 major headlines of Buddhist activities of the week. New Year meeting and awarding the decision on appointing the key personnel of the Central Office of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. Ho Chi Minh City, Office the 2nd of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha aggregates for New Year meeting. Ho Chi Minh City taking refuge in the 3 jewels on first mid-month UPOSATHA at Minh Đạo Pagoda. Đồng Nai, Vietnam Institute of Buddhist Studies and Vietnam Buddhist University in Ho Chi Minh City offer the grade TRIPITAKA to Thường Chiếu Monastery. Ho Chi Minh City chanting ceremony of the Medicine Buddha Sutra opened on the occasion of the Lunar New Year. Kinh Giang inauguration of 2023 annual ascetic training for ashrams in the province. First lunar mid-UPOSATHA ritual with Medicine Buddha Sutra sighting for national prosperity performed in pagodas and monastic establishments. The following are the news in details. On the morning of January 30, at the Office 1 of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Quán Sư Pagoda, a meeting in early 2023 was held to award the decision to appoint personnel to the Central Office of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha.
The meeting was witnessed and chaired by Most Venerable Thích Thanh Nhiêu, Standing Vice Chairman of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Thích Thanh Điện, Vice Chairman of the Central Board of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Venerable Thích Đức Thiện, Vice Chairman and General Secretary of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Thích Thanh Tuấn, Vice General Secretary of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha Parochial Council, cum Chief Officer of Office 1 of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, and monks and nuns, lay people of Office 1 of the Central Committee of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha among the attendees. At the meeting, all monks, nuns, and Buddhists from Office 1 of the Central Board of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha respectfully celebrated a happy and auspicious New Year to Most Venerable Thích Thanh Nhiêu, Most Venerable Thích Thanh Điện, Venerable Thích Đức Thiện, and religious leaders among the honorifics of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. Most Venerable Thích Thanh Nhiêu happily congratulated the New Year, praising the efforts of the reverend dignitaries of Office 1 who have made an important contribution to completing the monastic affairs in the past year. At the same time, the Most Venerable also ratified the specific plan for Buddhist activities in 2023, especially the implementation of the resolution of the 9th National Buddhist Congress. On this occasion, Most Venerable Thích Thanh Nhiêu gave the decision to appoint personnel to the venerable monks to hold the position of Vice Manager of the office and members of the Central Office of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. Most Venerable also encouraged the office members who need to work hard, be enthusiastic in all Buddhist monastic work, unite and stick together, so that the Buddhist institution could develop sturdily and fulfill their assigned missions.
On the morning of January 25, 2023, the Most Venerable Chairman and Vice Chairman of the Central Committee of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, together with the Venerables of Office 2 of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, had a traditional cordial meeting at the beginning of spring at Quán Đức Monastery in Ho Chi Minh City.
The meeting welcomed the Elder Most Venerable Thích Đức Nghiệp, Vice-Dharma Master cum Judiciary of the Council of Patrons, who came to perform the land-warming ritual. He wished Happy New Year and delivered the encouraging bestow and blessings to Reverend honorifics in Administrative Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, on the occasion of the New Year. Offering the New Year's greetings, Venerable Thích Phước Nguyên, Vice Secretary General and Chief of Office 2, said that the attending the meeting were very lucky and happy to meet the veneration of the Most Venerable and the Venerable Vice Chairman on the first days of Lunar New Year. The elder venerables are a solid spiritual fulcrum, a considerate teacher who always cares, supports, and orients the disciples and juniors in their religious practice and monastic life. The Venerable Master said, out of compassion and empathy, we respectfully invite the Most Venerable Chairman and the Vice Chairman to ponder about the future of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, and continue to graciously teach and lead our juniors, who inherit the missions of the patriarchal masters and together with other religious leaders, lead the Sangha towards the future for a dignified and strong Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. The Venerable Chief of the Office sincerely wished the New Year lucks to Most Venerable Chairman, the honorific monks for 1 year with dignified blessings, eternal life to be a cool, large, shading Bodhi tree, protecting the disciples on the path of monastic and religious life. Speech on the first days of the new year, Most Venerable TP.HCM Nhân, Chairman of the Administrative Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, reviewed a number of key Buddhist events in the year and wished that the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha Parochial Council and Central Office too promote the spirit of solidarity and harmony in religious practice together with the Sangha to effectively implement the ratified plan. The Most Venerable prayed Buddha's blessing for the whole new year, body and mind, always in peace, full of energy and victory, and the sentient beings have more achievement in spiritual life.
On the afternoon of February the 5th, first lunar month full moon at Minh Đạo Pagoda, Ho Chi Minh City, the Most Venerable TP.HCM Nhân, Chairman of the Administrative Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Head of the Central Section of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, the Institute Master of Minh Đạo Pagoda, Venerable TP.HCM Anh, Member of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha Administrative Council, Abbot of Minh Đạo Pagoda, and other reverend monks solemnly held the ceremony of taking refuge in the three jewels and ordained good disciples from various places.
In the dignified and pure atmosphere, the Most Venerable, the monastery master burned incense to pray Buddha, paid homage to three jewels, and addressed the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, presently sitting in the ashram to demonstrate the ceremony of taking refuge. In front of the three jewels altar, the good disciples presented their sincere repentance and listened to the precepts to be explained, including the meaning of refuge, the three rules, and the 5 precepts, so that the people who received the precepts could thoroughly prepare to receive and uphold them. Performing the ritual of refuge, the Most Venerable Monastery Master purified the ashram, taught and passed on the 3 rules and 5 precepts to the Buddhist community. After that, the disciples respectfully paid homage to the Most Venerable Monastery Master, the monks, and then sincerely vowed to take eternal refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and uphold the 5 precepts of the Buddhists at home, as it had been transmitted by the Most Venerable Monastery Master. Encouraging the disciples at home, the Most Venerable Monastery Master hoped that, now that Buddhists have taken refuge in the 3 jewels and had vowed to take the 5 precepts, they should seriously keep them in their daily life. At the same time, Buddhists must diligently study and practice according to the Buddha's teachings, so that they could understand the law of cause and effect and practice goodness to help the world.
On the morning of February the 4th, 2023, the delegation of the Vietnam Institute of Buddhist Studies and the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha in Ho Chi Minh City visited and consulted the health of Venerable Abbot and made offerings of Vietnamese Buddhist canon at the monastery Thường Chiếu, Dong Nai Province.
The delegation congratulated and celebrated the birthday of Most Venerable TP.HCM Nhân, standing member of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha Council of Patrons, congratulating him on being elected by the 9th Congress to the standing section of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha in witness of the country's Buddhist activities. On this occasion, the delegation also looked forward to Most Venerable's support for the research and teaching of the 2 units. Most Venerable Thích Nhật Quang expressed his joy and recalled the hard periods that the country's Buddhism had gone through. The Most Venerable praised the outstanding achievements of the Vietnam Institute of Buddhist Studies and Vietnamese Buddhist University in Ho Chi Minh City, and wished that the two units would continue to increase their capacity to contribute to the Dharma promotion. In the morning of the same day, the delegation accompanied the Most Venerable in his visit to Trúc Lâm Buddhist School and donated 10 sets of the great Tripitaka of Vietnamese Buddhism to Trúc Lâm Buddhist School for use as research and study materials for the monks and nuns. In his blessing words, Most Venerable Thích Thanh Từ, Most Venerable Thích Nhật Quang praised the massive research endeavors of the Vietnam Institute of Buddhist Studies and Vietnamese Buddhist University in Ho Chi Minh City. The Most Venerable encouraged the monastic students to actively refer to this valuable document for researches.
On the morning of January 27, 2023, on the 6th day of Lunar New Year, at the Vietnam National Pagoda, the monks solemnly held the opening chanting ceremony of the Medicine Buddha Sutra, termination of ailment for longevity, with the testimony of the Elder Most Venerable Thích Quang, Dharma Master of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, and his leading clergy, members of the Provincial Buddhist Administrative Boards, the Nung Subdivision in Ho Chi Minh City, the District Buddhist Administrative Boards in 21 districts and Thu Duc City, the monks and nuns from monasteries, and more than 1,000 Buddhists from various ashrams among the attendants.
With the 12 great vows of the Medicine Buddha, the presentations at the ceremony not only presented the Buddha's life-saving vow when he was still a bodhisattva, but also introduced effective methods of practicing and disseminating the Dharma to all those who are following the teachings of the Buddha about the Supreme Enlightenment. Following the spirit of the Medicine Buddha Sutra, we light up the Medicine Buddha Sutra and chant the Medicine Buddha Sutra to pray for peace. Most Venerable Thích Lệ Trang added, lighting a lamp is to light up the lamp of our mind so that we can be aware of what we are doing at this moment, what factor we are making, which leads to the illness and suffering. Therefore, the medicine platform is synonymous with absolute purity and must be pure in speech, action, and thought. Under the conduct of venerable monks of the Buddhist Ritual Division of Ho Chi Minh City, the masses unanimously turned to the central area of the Dharma and recited the 7 variables of great compassion. Most Venerable Thích Lệ Trang and other monks performed the ritual of purifying, circumambulating, and chanting the Medicine Buddha Sutras to pray for a peaceful Lunar New Year, and hundreds of people to live in peace and happiness. The Medicine Buddha Sutra chanting ceremony continues at 5:45 p.m. every day until the end of January. Buddhists and people can attend the ceremonies under the guidance of monks and nuns to pray for peace at the beginning of the new year.
On the morning of February the 8th, 2023, at Phật Quang Pagoda, Rạch Giá City, Kiên Giang Province, the Provincial Buddhist Administrative Board held the opening ceremony of the religious ashrams with the participation of a large number of Buddhists from the friaries who are studying in Kiên Giang Province. This is an annual traditional activity to create a vibrant and positive atmosphere in the ascetic practice of Buddhists in the province.
In witness, it was honored to have venerable dignitaries of the Buddhist Sangha of the province, the honorifics of the Office II of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, local authorities and monks, nuns, and Buddhists in the province. In his opening remarks, Most Venerable Danh Động sent his best wishes to the venerable monks and nuns and delegates among the attendants for a new year, blissful body and mind, and auspiciousness. The Most Venerable said that the religious ashram in the province were active and enthusiastic, following the direction of the Provincial Buddhist Board. The Buddhist learners study very diligently and the number of ashrams is increasing day by day. The Dharma evangelism and guiding Buddhists also actively propagate the Dharma, contributing to social morality consolidation, peace and happiness, gradually eradicating superstitions and aberrations, and strictly implementing the Sangha Dharma charters and state laws. Venerable Thích Minh Thân, head of the Provincial Dharma Evangelism section, introduced 17 module contents of the aesthetic training programs for the ashram in 2023. To steer the training, Venerable Thích Phước Nguyên praised the spirit of Buddhist practice in the province. The Venerable hoped that the abbots, monks and nuns, Buddhists of the pagodas could enroll more members, improve the efficiencies of their religious study and ascetic practice, thereby making practical contribution to the common Buddhist work of the province. In his blessing words, Most Venerable Thích Huyền Thông, member of the Council of Patrons, Provincial Buddhist Board, praised the merits of the Giêng Provincial Buddhist Board for holding the grand opening ceremony of the training. The Most Venerable also hoped that the abbots of the Buddhist ashrams could promote the spirit of protecting the three jewels and long-term study, according to the motto, Dharma, Nation, Socialism.
The full moon of lunar January 1st UPOSATHA this year is on February the 5th, 2023, is the occasion when Buddhists often visit the temple to attend the ceremony to pray for peace at the medicine master's altar at the beginning of the year, to pray for national peace, for all diseases to be eliminated, happy family member gatherings. According to the traditional culture in the spiritual life of Vietnamese, January is the most appropriate time to pray for peace and hope that everything will smoothly run for the whole year. The following are holiday activities at temples and monasteries.
In the evening of the full moon day of the first lunar month of the first UPOSATHA, many Khmer ethnic people in Ho Chi Minh City and Buddhists gather in front of the Kandaransi Pagoda yard to repent, take the three precepts, and invite the monks to conduct the spiritual rituals. At the ceremony, Most Venerable Zhang Lung shared the Dharma sermon and raised the important meaning of Buddhists on the UPOSATHA of the first lunar month, also about good and evil in the teachings of the Buddha. The Most Venerable also prayed for the blessings of the three jewels and the gods to bless the monks and Buddhists to be healthy, have a happy and peaceful family. According to the tradition, the full moon of the first month is an occasion to offer lights to the Buddha and pray for peace in the new year for the family, village, hamlet, and the country. Monks also chant blessings and consecration to Buddhists. In Tân Long Commune, Phụng Hiệp District, Hậu Giang Province, Medicine Buddha Ashram organized a full moon worship service during UPOSATHA and took refuge in three jewels for local Buddhists. On this occasion, Master Nun Thích Nữ Tịnh Hằng, abbot of the Medicine Buddha Ashram, organized a refuge in the three jewels for local Buddhists. Venerable Thích Nhật Tín, vice head of the Dharma Evangelism section, talked about the meaning of taking refuge in the three jewels and reminded Buddhists to keep the five precepts. The masses unanimously vowed to diligently study and practice the Buddha's teachings in daily life. At II Chiếu Pagoda, office of the Kon Tum Provincial Buddhist Board, Ngô Mây Ward, Kon Tum City, the Serenity Prayer Ritual was held under the chairmanship of the Most Venerable Thích Quảng Xạ, the master of the medicine altar, the reverend dignitaries, and virtuous people who conducted their incense offering to the Buddha, praying for serenity, world peace, and peaceful living beings. The Buddhists earnestly pray for their families a peaceful, healthy, and lucky year, and vow to live in monastic service and dedication to the Dharma and the nation, with a prayer for sentient beings to be enlightened and to have a peaceful and happy country. On this occasion, The Venerable Honorifics held a refuge ritual for 60 Buddhists and presented 300 gifts, each worth 250,000 Vietnamese dong, to ethnic minorities in difficult circumstances in the area and Khánh Sơn Pagoda, Sa Thầy District. At Huệ Hương Pagoda, Kon Tum City, over 300 Buddhists in Kon Tum attended the ceremony of praying for peace, offering lights to Buddha, praying for national peace for the people, elimination of disease, and happy family reunion. After the spiritual activities at the ceremony, Buddhists had vegetarian meal, received the New Year's fortune gifts, and listened to Venerable Thích Chánh Chi's sermon on Dharma. At Ngọc Sơn Tiêu Vihara, Kiên Giang Province, a ceremony to pray for national peace took place with the first setting of bowl in 2023, participated by a large number of monks, nuns, and Buddhists near and far. Most Venerable Thích Minh Tông led the armed mendicants around the monastery grounds to show a predilection for Buddhists to plant blessings at the beginning of the lunar year for the three jewels. After the sutra citing to pray for national peace and prosperity, Venerable Thích Phước Thắng shared a few words to Buddhists and blessed them and their families with the Buddha's 5 blessings: long life, good beautiful appearance, peace of mind, strength, and wisdom. At Vẽ Pagoda, Hải An District, Hải Phòng City, the opening ceremony of the Medicine Buddha Sutra altar ritual took place, praying for prosperous country, peaceful people, and the abbot nun Thích Tâm Chính shared the Dharma talk about the meaning of the Medicine Buddha altar. At the ceremony, the nuns and Buddhists chanted Medicine Buddha Sutra and released living creatures to pray for world peace and peaceful sentient beings. At Phước Sơn Zen Monastery, Biên Hòa City, a festival to worship the full moon in January and chant blessings for early Buddhist comers was held. Most Venerable Thích Bửu Chánh, abbot of Phước Sơn Zen Monastery, presided over a course of blessing, peace, and supplication for the Buddhist attendants. Under the leadership of the Most Venerable Abbot, the assembly carried the lanterns from the main hall to the place of worshipping the statue of Buddha entering Nirvana. The shimmering lamp was a message of the Buddha's light to dispel the darkness and ignorance. At Kim Cang Monastery, Lê Minh Xuân Commune, Bình Chánh District, Ho Chi Minh City, an offering ceremony toward the Medicine Buddha Sutra was held for Buddhists to draw flower lanterns and to pray for national peace under the chairmanship of Venerable Thích Nguyên Chiếu, abbot of Kim Cang Monastery, with the participation of more than 3,000 Buddhists from all directions. The ceremony was opened with a drumming and art performance by Tâm Hoa Đường Dragon and Lion Troupe. Thousands of lanterns, streaming candles, were lit in the monastery grounds, and the recitation of the name of the Medicine Buddha is resounding and powerful. Fireworks, a symbol of success in the new year, were displayed to the Buddha. At Thiền Quang Pagoda, Bình Dương Province, a large number of Buddhists gathered at the temple to listen to the Dharma, recited the Medicine Buddha Sutra, and attended the flower lantern ceremony to pray for national peace and prosperity and a happy family. Earlier in the early morning, the pagoda released over a ton of live aquatic creatures into the Đồng Nai River in the ritual of life salvation.
Venerable monks and nuns, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, the last news has settled this weekly newsreel. Thank you for your attention and following. Goodbye and see you in the next program on PSO TV channel. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha.